What's up, CHFFL? Welcome to the championship for 2021, and Happy New Year! With the extra game this year, we are playing in 2022, but it's still the 2021 championship. Before I get into this video, I just want to tell everybody we're going to have a very busy off-season. So when we're all done this week, don't just shut Discord off and go away from it. We have a lot of things we want to get to. Anyway, we're going to recap round 2, which I think everyone's been paying pretty close attention to, so we should be able to get through that and get to predictions for all 6 games. Because remember, in the loser's bracket or 5th place game, you're still playing for your draft pick next year. So I went 4-0 in my predictions last week. Nice job, 64 and 28 on the seasons. Both 1 seeds fall. Mark and Swan both go down after coming in, I guess, a little too high on their horses. Same with the losers bracket. Both of the bye weeks went down. Grant and Stan. The team of the week was Banis, breaking the 200 barrier. He and Max advanced to the championship. Last week of waivers, Banis for $10 grabs their last name. And that's it. Can't take that money with you, so I hope everybody spent most of it and is ready for whoever their keepers are going to be. Let's get right into matchups. We're going to go from the bottom to the top, starting with the Toilet Bowl. Wayne Brady versus Silky Johnson. JD's team at this point is full of injured players. He needs to pick up a running back just to start this week. He doesn't have any eligible ones on his roster. Minnie's team has also started to get neglected in the playoffs here. He needs a tight end, but his team is less ugly. So I take Minnie to win the Toilet Bowl and JD to get the last place. Alright, now let's get into the losers bracket. Kind of mid-tier, we got Miss Neeson's Cookies versus Rick James Couch. Stan and Grant after losing last week. Adam Thielen to the IR. Put Stan in a bit of a rough spot. He has solid matchups for everyone in his team, though, except for Eckler. Eckler should still, he's one of those players who will still produce regardless, but the lower guys on Stan's lineup have good matchups. Grant doesn't get Alexander Madison anymore as Dalvin Cook is back. His upside, therefore, is extremely limited. I like Stan in this one. The Consolation Ladder Championship between Wes's Genie's Bunch of Good Boys and my Clip Game champions. Wes has a chance to redeem after losing the first 2 matchups we've had this year. He has tough running back matchups, but he gets Pat Freiermuth back, a solid tight end. Always nice to be able to rely on. My starting lineup at this point is a bunch of fill-ins outside of Josh Allen, Nick Chubb, Tyler Lockett. Dallas Goedert's been pretty solid at tight end, but otherwise, my wide receivers with Elijah Moore still on the IR. He did not come off as expected to play. It's a whole bunch of nobodies. I need Josh Allen to feast versus Atlanta if I'm even going to have a chance, but Wes definitely is the better bet here, and I'm picking him to get first draft priority. Now let's move on to the 5th place game after taking a week off. Parker's Chuck Taylor Shamalama is going to play Clayton Bigsby's Tricksters. This is a fun matchup. Really, it is between 2 strong teams that both could have easily been in the championship had things gone their way. Parker at full strength. He's going with Javonte Williams and Damian Harris over Chase Edmonds and Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is the surprising one to me there. Wouldn't be surprised if he decides to put him in the lineup before this game starts. Marty missing Antonio Gibson, and another questionable starting choice here is he's starting Dalton Schultz over Gronk. A healthy Gronk I'd probably take any day, especially has a much stronger matchup this week. Regardless of what Marty does, though, I like Pa here because I like Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs. I like big upside receivers who can win you the game. Now let's get into our money games. 3rd place consolation game between Swan, Ashy Larry Snake Eyes, and Mark Poppin' to the Moon. Swan's squad, which at a few points in the season you thought was going to be the top team, maybe run away with it, is just running on fumes at this point. Other than a very strong wide receiver core, not much to write home about. Darren Waller never returned from injury. Every week it seemed like he just might, and he didn't. Mark is finally at full strength after making the trade with me. I really feel bad that injuries kind of hurt him. I hope that he's able... And I mean, I don't root for anybody, but I hope at least he has a very strong week this week, and if Swan wins, it's earned. Kelsey and Swift finally in the lineup. I do like Mark this week, regardless, and I like him to win by a good bit in this one, just looking at it on paper. Finally, we get to our championship, and oh, this is going to be a good one. We've got 2 teams that very much deserve to be here. Max's Wickers Knickers versus Banis and Jason's Tyrone Bigum's Crack Stars. Banis is chasing his first championship since joining the CHFFL just a few years ago. Max hasn't won championship, but as he often opines, it was not a year that we had money on the line. He's chasing his first payout and his second championship. This is a battle where Banis was a preseason favorite. Max was really down on the rankings in the preseason, although I want to say I had him higher up than the machine calculations. I thought Max had more of a chance to be a threat this year, and boy, has he been. No James Robinson due to injury. Max seems to be going with Christian Kirk in his flex. Not too big of a step down. Of course, he'd love to have Robinson. Justin Herbert against Denver. Denver's been very good against quarterbacks this year. Makes him less of an upside start. For Max, it's just let your MVP, Jonathan Taylor, hopefully carry the game. He has a very nice matchup this week. Banis coming in hot after 200 points last week. If this championship was last week, it would have been a huge blowout. A.J. Brown looked great last week, back at full strength, finally one of Banis's top guys. And does Mark Andrews have an advantage even over George Kittle? He's been the #1 tight end all year, gives you that nice positional advantage. I had a hard time with this one. I think it's going to be a great game. I think we could see 2 150-plus points. My pick is Maxi. I think Max is going to take it, but that's just what I say. I hope everybody really enjoys this week. No players have played yet, so it's going to be a ton of fantasy goodness this Sunday. Hope everyone had a great season, and remember, going to be in touch very shortly about all of our off-season activities. But for now, just enjoy the championship. We'll see ya.